All right, ready to dive into something new. Today, we're tackling virtual event management.
Virtual event management, huh?
Yeah, I know it might sound a little, well, corporate-y at first,
Yeah.
but stick with us because this stuff is way more exciting than you might think.
Oh, absolutely. And it's way more relevant now, you know?
Yeah, especially with everyone connecting online more and more these days.
Exactly. This isn't just a pandemic fad. This is like a whole new way we do events.
Right, we're talking concerts, trade shows, even like, I don't know, virtual art galleries.
I mean, there are virtual trade shows now. Can you imagine?
Seriously, browsing booths from my couch, that's kind of amazing.
It is pretty wild.
So today, we really want to break down virtual event management for you. Like, why is it suddenly so huge?
Yeah, why is everyone doing this?
What kind of tech do you even need? And like, could this be something you, the listener, could actually get into?
Maybe you're already thinking about it, after hearing all this.
Yeah, exactly. So first things first, why is everyone going virtual with their events?
Well, I mean, for a lot of companies and organizers, it boils down to cost.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Venues are expensive.
Right. And travel, hotels, all that adds up.
Yeah, totally.
So there's this tech firm, Company X, and their annual conference used to cost them a fortune.
Okay, how much are we talking?
Well, when they switched to virtual, they saved over $1 million just on venue and travel.
Whoa, 1 million! That's insane.
Right. And on top of that, they actually tripled the number of people attending.
So more people, less money. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
But it's got to be more than just saving money, right? There are other benefits.
Oh, definitely. Think about it with virtual events. It doesn't matter where anyone is physically.
Yeah, you can have people joining from all over the world.
Exactly. Time zones, continents, it doesn't matter. Everyone can attend.
That's huge, especially for like international businesses or organizations.
Right. I mean, I've been to some virtual conferences myself, and it's so much more convenient.
Oh, tell me about it. No more airport stress.
Seriously. No rushing to catch flights, no getting lost in a new city, none of that.
Plus, you can't miss a session because your flight was delayed.
Exactly. And let's not forget, less travel is good for the environment, too.
Right. Smaller carbon footprint, that's a win for everyone.
It really is. So we've got cost savings, global reach, convenience, and it's even eco-friendly.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate event package.
And there's even more to it than that. All that data we generate online, virtual events can track that.
You mean like what people click on, how long they watch a session, stuff like that?
Exactly. You can see what's popular, get instant feedback. It's super valuable.
So you can use that data to make future events even better.
Yeah, you really get to know your audience and what they want.
Okay, so we get the why behind virtual events. But how do they actually work? What's the tech side look like?
Well, it all starts with the platforms. You've got things like Zoom, Hopin, for hosting the event itself.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
Then you've got registration systems like Eventbrite.
Right, to get people signed up.
And then there's a whole world of tools for keeping people engaged during the event.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, for Q&As and polls, there's Slido. But there are even platforms that are like totally changing how we network online.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Like what?
Have you heard of Wonder.me?
Wonder.me? No, I don't think so.
So it's this platform where you can move around a virtual space. And as you get closer to different groups, you can hear their conversations better.
Whoa, so it's like being in an actual room where conversations fade in and out as you move around.
Exactly. They use spatial audio to make it feel more natural, less like a, boring video call.
That's really cool. I can see how that would make networking less awkward.
Yeah, it's all about breaking down those barriers and making virtual feel more real.
Okay, I'm sold. But let's say someone listening is thinking, hey, maybe I could run my own virtual event business. What would they need to do?
First things first, you got to figure out your niche. What kind of events are you passionate about?
Right, what are you going to focus on?
And who's your audience? Once you've got that, you need a business plan.
Just like any other business, right?
Totally. You need to figure out what services you're offering, your pricing, how you'll market yourself, the whole 9 yards.
So you've got your niche, your plan, then what? How do you actually make it happen in the virtual world?
Well, next comes choosing the right tech. Like which platform is best for your events.
Right, and making sure you have good streaming quality and all that.
Exactly. And then you got to build a strong online presence, like a website that showcases what you do.
So people can find you and learn about your events.
Right. And then, of course, you need to get the word out. Marketing is key.
Yeah, how do you actually attract attendees?
There's email marketing, social media ads. You can even partner with influencers or brands.
Oh, smart. Get your name out there.
Yeah. And a good way to start is by offering some free or low-cost events to get your feet wet.
Like a trial run to gain some experience.
Exactly. Get some testimonials, build a following, all that.
Okay, so you're up and running, you've got attendees, but how do you actually make money?
Well, the most obvious way is through ticket sales.
Right. Charge people to attend.
But you can get creative with it too, like different ticket tiers with different perks.
Oh, interesting.
Or you could charge extra for premium content or exclusive networking sessions.
I like that.
And there's the freemium model where basic access is free, but you pay for VIP stuff.
So you can check it out for free and then decide if you want the full experience.
Exactly. And then there are sponsorships.
Oh yeah, get companies to support your events.
Right. Say you're doing a virtual cooking class. You could partner with a kitchenware brand
Okay, that makes sense.
or offer a package deal with recipe ebooks or even do affiliate marketing for ingredients.
Oh, so you could get a commission if people buy the ingredients you recommend.
Exactly. There are so many ways to monetize virtual events. It's all about being creative.
So if you were doing an event about, I don't know, sustainable fashion.
You could partner with eco-friendly clothing brands, offer workshops on upcycling.
Oh, or even set up a virtual marketplace where people can buy and sell sustainable clothes.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless. And don't forget about merch and digital products.
Like selling branded t-shirts or online courses related to the event.
You got it. It's all about adding value for your attendees while also generating revenue.
This is blowing my mind. It's like a whole new world of business possibilities has opened up.
It really is.
But let's be real for a second. It can't all be sunshine and rainbows. There must be challenges.
Of course, there are challenges.
Yeah.
But with the right planning, they're manageable.
Like what? What kind of things can go wrong?
Well, technical issues are a big one. Imagine your internet going out in the middle of a keynote speech.
Oh my gosh, that's my worst nightmare.
Right. So having backup internet is crucial, and a dedicated tech support team.
And testing everything beforehand, like a million times.
Exactly. Better safe than sorry.
Okay, so what about keeping people engaged? I feel like it's easy to get distracted online.
That's true. That's why interactive elements are so important.
Like polls, Q&As, that kind of thing.
Yep. Breakout rooms for smaller discussions are good too. You could even do virtual games.
It's all about making people feel like they're part of something, even if they're not physically together.
Exactly. Another challenge is time zones, especially if you have a global audience.
Oh yeah, not everyone's going to be awake at the same time.
Right. So recording sessions and making them available on demand is key.
So people can watch them later, no matter where they are.
Exactly. And you can schedule live sessions at different times to accommodate different time zones.
It's all about making it as accessible as possible.
You got it.
Okay, last thing, security. With all this online stuff happening, that's got to be a big concern.
Absolutely. You need strong passwords, encrypted data, secure payment gateways, the works.
So people's information is protected.
Right. And you need to know the data privacy rules and make sure you're following them.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've covered the why, the how, even some potential pitfalls.
Yeah, we've laid it all out.
But where is this all going? What does the future of virtual events look like?
Now that's where things get really exciting. The future is all about pushing boundaries and creating truly immersive experiences.
Ooh, tell me more.
Well, imagine attending a virtual event using VR or AR.
Wait, so instead of watching a presentation on my computer, I could be like virtually in the room.
Exactly. You could interact with other attendees, explore 3D product demos, even participate in simulations.
Whoa, that's next level.
Right. And AI is going to play a bigger role too, personalizing the experience for everyone.
So, like, the event would be tailored to my specific interests.
Yeah, something like that. And it could help with networking, matching you with people you might want to connect with.
That's amazing. And what about language barriers? Could AI help with that?
Absolutely. Real-time translation could make language barriers a thing of the past.
Wow, it sounds like virtual events are going to be less like, sitting at your computer and more like stepping into another world.
In a way, yeah. And as technology keeps advancing, things are only going to get more sophisticated and engaging.
Okay, I'm officially on board the virtual event spaceship.
Me too. But before we blast off into the future, let's take a moment to recap what we've learned so far.
Yeah, good idea. Ground ourselves in the present before we explore the infinite possibilities of the virtual universe.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground already. We talked about how virtual events are changing the game. Like, it's not just a fad, it's the future of how we connect.
Yeah, and we talked about the big benefits, right? Cost-effective, global reach, Super convenient for everyone.
And better for the environment. Can't forget that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And we even got into the tech side of things
All the different platforms and tools that make these events happen.
and how people are actually making money from virtual events, which is pretty cool if you ask me.
Right. Ticket sales, sponsorships, all that.
So many creative ways to like turn your passion into a business.
Exactly. And of course, we talked about the challenges, things to watch out for.
Yeah, got to be prepared, right?
Yeah.
Tech issues, keeping people engaged, time zones.
And security. Can't forget security.
Right. Even in the virtual world, got to keep things safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, challenges are part of the fun, when you say.
Oh, totally. It's all part of the adventure.
Speaking of adventure, remember that future we talked about earlier?
Yeah, all that VR and AR stuff. My mind's still blown.
Well, we only scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore.
Okay, hit me with it. What else is coming down the pipeline?
Well, imagine having a digital assistant that helps you plan every detail of your event.
Whoa, like a virtual event planner.
Exactly. AI-powered assistants that handle registration, scheduling, even marketing.
So you could like focus on the creative stuff and let the AI take care of the logistics.
Right. It would free up so much time and energy.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. And you mentioned AI could personalize the attendee experience too.
Yeah. Imagine attending a conference where the content is tailored specifically to your interests.
No, that would be so cool.
Or a networking event where you're matched with people who share your goals.
It's like having a virtual matchmaker for your professional life.
Exactly. AI could even help with things like real-time translation for global events.
So no more language barriers. That's game-changing.
It really is. It's all about making virtual events more inclusive and accessible for everyone.
This is starting to sound less like a business meeting and more like a sci-fi movie.
I know, right? But it's not that far-fetched. These technologies are already developing rapidly.
It's crazy to think how fast things are changing.
It is. But with all this talk about technology, it's important to remember the human element, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Virtual events are still about connecting with people, right?
Exactly. It's about building relationships, sharing ideas, and fostering a sense of community.
Even if everyone's miles apart.
Exactly. And that's what makes hybrid events so interesting.
Oh, yeah, we talked about those before. Combining the best of both worlds, right?
Right. You get the energy of an in-person event with the accessibility of a virtual one.
The best of both worlds. And as technology improves, that line between physical and digital is just going to keep blurring.
Absolutely. Imagine attending a conference where you can choose to be there in person or virtually.
And the experience is just as good either way.
Exactly. That's the goal, anyway. And it's not just about attending events, it's about creating them, too.
Right. Anyone can become a virtual event host now.
Exactly. You don't need a huge budget or a fancy studio. You just need a great idea and the passion to make it happen.
That's really empowering, actually.
It is. It's like democratizing opportunity, giving anyone with an internet connection a chance to reach a global audience.
I love that. So we've talked about the potential, the technology, the human connection.
We've covered a lot of ground.
But I have to ask, with all these advancements, are there any ethical concerns we should be thinking about?
That's a really important question. And the answer is yes, there are definitely ethical considerations.
Like what? What kind of things should we be watching out for?
Well, data privacy is a big one, as virtual event platforms collect more data about attendees.
Right. We talked about security before, but this is different.
It is. It's about making sure that data is handled responsibly and ethically.
So people's information isn't misused.
Exactly. Transparency and consent are crucial.
Meaning attendees should know what data is being collected and how it's going to be used.
Right. And they should be able to opt out if they want to.
Okay, that makes sense. What else? Are there other ethical issues we should be thinking about?
Definitely. Accessibility is another big one.
Right. We don't want to exclude anyone just because they might not have the latest technology or the right skills.
Exactly. Event organizers need to make sure their events are accessible to everyone, regardless of their abilities.
So things like closed captioning, transcripts, maybe even sign language interpreters for virtual events.
Exactly. It's about making sure everyone has equal access to the experience.
And that ties into digital literacy too, right?
Absolutely. As virtual events become more common, everyone needs the skills to navigate the digital world safely and effectively.
So it's not just about providing the technology, it's about education and support as well.
Right. We need to empower people to be active participants in the virtual world, not just passive consumers.
Okay, I'm seeing the bigger picture now. It's not just about the cool tech and the business opportunities.
It's about using technology for good and making sure everyone benefits.
This has been a really thought-provoking conversation. I feel like I've learned so much.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it's clear that virtual events are here to stay.
Yeah, they're changing how we connect, how we learn, even how we work.
But it's up to all of us to shape this future responsibly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to leave you with a final question. As virtual events become even more integrated into our lives,
How do we make sure they serve us, not the other way around?
that's the question we all need to be asking.
We need to be mindful of the potential downsides, the ethical dilemmas.
And make sure these advancements benefit everyone, not just a select few.
Exactly. The future of virtual events is in our hands.
It's amazing to think how much virtual events have changed, even in just the last few years.
I know, right? We've come a long way from those, basic webinars to, full-on VR experiences.
It's pretty wild, and it seems like we're just getting started. Like, what we're seeing now is just the beginning.
Oh, definitely. I think we're on the verge of, a whole new era of virtual events.
More engaging, more personalized, more, I don't know, transformative, I guess.
Totally. I mean, just imagine, attending a conference in Tokyo or a concert in London, all from your living room.
Right. Just pop on a VR headset and boom, you're there.
Exactly. And with AI doing real-time translations, language barriers could become a thing of the past.
That would be incredible. Connecting with anyone, anywhere, instantly.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Mm.
But it's not just about the technology itself, right?
Yeah, it's about how we use it, how we make sure it benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Exactly. We have to be mindful of the potential downsides, the ethical considerations.
Because this technology is powerful. It could really change the world.
And it's up to us to shape that change, to make sure it's a positive one.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into virtual event management, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay, sure.
As virtual events become more and more integrated into our lives, we need to ask ourselves, how do we ensure these advancements are serving us, not the other way around?
That's a really good question, and it's one we all need to be thinking about, not just event organizers, but everyone.
Because this technology is going to impact all of us in one way or another.
Absolutely. And we have a responsibility to use it wisely, to make sure it enhances our lives, not controls them.
Well said. So to our listeners, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. But always remember to do it with intention and a sense of responsibility. The future of virtual events is in our hands.
And it's a future I'm excited to see unfold. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.